A customer journey is just a story told from the customer's perspective. I have a beautiful daughter, and when she was about 5, she came home from school running to me so excited with that picture. And I said, honey, that's just magnificent. That's gorgeous. Is this what you did at school in art class today? And she said, yes, mommy, we were asked to draw our mom. And I had to find the courage deep inside of me. And I said to her, honey, that's just amazing. I love it. I said, but every great artist, Van Gogh and Picasso, they had some inspiration and a reason why they depicted people in a specific context. Tell mommy, what was your inspiration for this lovely artwork? And she said, mommy, remember that day we were in that shop when you took back the vacuum cleaner? I said, yes. She said, mommy, you were so angry at that lady. She said, I thought you were going to eat her up. She says, you were so angry that you spit on my arm. And she says, and I wiped it, and I turned my other arm, and you spit on my other arm. I said, I remember vaguely. So this is a picture that my daughter, it's now framed in our home. And every time I walk past it, I'm reminded of the person I became in this context. Backstory, because I do want to redeem myself. The vacuum cleaner was not very old. It was still under its warranty. I took it back to the store. I have 3 Jack Russell and 3 kids, right? And this lady told me, it will take 8 weeks because we've got to send it away and then I'll let you know. And I said, you gotta be fucking kidding me, 8 weeks. And unfortunately, this didn't play out well because she had a process, right? And I had a problem. And my problem and her process was just not meeting each other. So I told her where to put the vacuum cleaner. I hope it's not still there. But I left the store and I've never been back. I never collected my vacuum cleaner because I was so embarrassed about this thing that had played out. And this young girl was very fearful that her manager would get angry with her if she didn't stick to the process. I became that, right? And I'm reminded of that. And this is a good store, right? But I've never been back. Because when I go near that store, I'm actually reminded of the day I completely lost my shit over a vacuum cleaner. So when we ask people, what is your experience like? Could you please rate me? They ain't going to tell you that because that's not a story I'm proud of. So if I know this, I'm so much more empowered to actually design experiences that have a different outcome. Ultimately, you don't want to create people that hate who they become in an interaction with you. And often it's not about the process. You can still follow the process. I can show you there's some secret ingredients that you can put in an interaction where you still follow the process, but you make that person feel heard. And that's the sum total of that. She didn't hear me. She didn't give a shit about my Jack Russells, and she didn't give a shit about my 3 messy children. And it was 8 weeks. 8 weeks or nothing. So the result of those experiences are, unfortunately, I'm going to avoid that brand. This probably happened 7 years ago, right? If I look at what I've spent on appliances in the last 7 years, that's a significant share of wallet. Significant, which I haven't spent with them. Not about them, but about me. About one bad interaction. So they've had a lot of financial loss. And then obviously from a pain and suffering point of view, Every time I tell this story, I have some pain and suffering. Every time I pass that picture in our house, I think about the vacuum cleaner story, and my daughter will probably remember this spitting cobra fight for the rest of her life. All right. So that story I used to illustrate the ingredients of experience.